In today's video, we'll be breaking down my entire process of finding anyone's email address via job title, their website URL link, or through their LinkedIn URL links, right? And the tools that you're gonna be using in this case is called Anymail Finder, Skrapp, and finally Bouncify. Now you're gonna see why I prefer using these three tools as a combination instead of one individual selected, right? And the industries that you're gonna be covering in this case is local companies, coaching and consulting, and finally private equity, right? And the reason why I kind of spread out the different industries is to just give you an example or remove that limiting belief that this entire process is only limited to like one industry or something like that, right? And with that into account, let's jump into the actual thing itself. Now in this case, I'm gonna be using piece of cake as the go-to local business within the industry, right? And the main tool in this case is gonna be Anymail Finder, and as you continuously watch this video, you're gonna see why that is, right? So in this case, I'm gonna go with the CEO, owner, president, and founder in terms of job title, and I'm gonna go over here and go with marketing, and finally wrong pacing, I'm gonna go with operational manager, paste that website URL link over there, and here we have it. So far we have the CEO and founder's email address, we have the CMO's email address, and finally the COO's email address, which is basically the same founder. And that is basically how I use Anymail Finder. Now there's a bit of a limitation to this because within that actual company there might be more than one founder, right? But the thing about Anymail Finder is that it generally just highlights one specific founder within that, which is where Skrapp actually comes into place, and you're gonna see what I mean by that in a moment. As usual, the goal here is to basically remove that .com, .net, or whatever dot at the end, and it's going to give us the lead. Now take into consideration that we have 39 results out of 10 display. So what I want you to do is click on load more, and it's basically going to increase that by 10, load more until it actually goes to that actual thing. Now we have a specific, or shall I say, entire list of leads that you can actually go through, right? Now in our case, I'm looking for the CEO, owner, founder, co-founder, CMO, and generally the list goes on, right? As you can see, we have the chief marketing officer, the COO, and let's see if it's the same person. And in this case, no, it is not. So in that case, they might have more than one marketing manager. So which is why I actually love using both tools, is because, like I said, it only scrapes one of those highly emails to basically give you the best experience in terms of deliverability wise, right? Now in this case, like I said, I went with persona, and what I want you to do is basically copy this individual's full name, paste that in, and hopefully it's going to give us the proper email address. Okay, in this case we cannot actually find it, which is where Skrapp's thingy actually comes into place. And if it doesn't highlight that individual's email, it means they left the company, but in this case we actually have it. Now like I said, these two tools, or shall I say email finders, complements each other's weaknesses, right? In some cases, as you can see, Anymail Finder lacks in terms of finding proper leads, but it is up there in terms of finding the actual individual's email address. Or Skrapp, it's like they kind of bounce on each other's flaws but also lift each other's up, right? And to basically verify whether or not that email address is up to date, I'm going to use a Bouncify, right? And as you can see previously, this one was actually valid. Let me paste that in, verify. Hopefully it's verified, undeliverable, which means this individual actually left the actual company. Like I told you, these three tools complement each other very well, right? Now just to give you an understanding that it's not always the case, I'm gonna go with the founder's email address. I know that it actually highlighted them as COO. Maybe it captures one of the previous role within the company, because individuals cannot increase, as you can see, or not increase but change different roles within the actual company, right? And as you can see, the founder's email address is actually valid. Like I said, it kind of makes sense why any email finder could not find this individual's email address, and while Skrappy was actually valid, but at the same time maybe the individual actually left the company itself, right? Now let's look for someone that is an ideal prospect in terms of reaching out to. And as you can see, marketing director, which is Eric.M, and here he Eric is a guy's name. He is, right? Marketing director Eric. This is the email address, and if I was to actually copy it, it's pretty much valid, because that means this guy is somewhat of the current CMO of the company. As you can see, the letterboard up to date. Now let's see if these guys have more than one founder and CEO. Here's Vovi, whom we actually highlighted, plays both the CEO and founder, but also the COO, or maybe used to be the COO of the company, right? And this is my go-to what is this, prospect persona, customer success coordinator, because I actually offer custom built AI chatbots which they might actually benefit from. So in this case, let's actually see if it would be able to find it. In this case, no. And it's kind of disappointing, because you know, I was trying to share a bit of a spotlight on it, but it seems like, yeah, Skrappy in this case is taking a bit of the spotlight from it, right? So in this case, I'm gonna verify whether or not this individual's email address is valid or not. And like I said, it makes sense. This guy or person might no longer be working within the actual company, or maybe it might be this person's that has actually taken the role within the company, because they share a similar job title. Still no, but yeah, you're gonna get a digital stop it all, because I cannot really be showing you guys the same guy or the same company within the same industry, right? Now in this case, I'm gonna go with the coaching and consulting industry, right? And we're gonna go with 7-figure creator and my boy Matthew over here, right? Because I genuinely know him, and his services are to basically help founders or solopreneurs increase the overall sales and lead captures through the content on LinkedIn. Like it actually says so, LinkedIn, taking LinkedIn creators from 0 to 7-figure income, right? And in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to decision maker, right? And I'm gonna paste his website URL link, and obviously I'm gonna go with the CEO, owner, president, and founder of the company. And you're gonna see that it's going to give us Matthew's what is this, email address. And if I actually go to Bouncify, hopefully it's gonna be a valid email address. Let me see. Accept all. Now as you can see, this, whenever it says accept all, it basically means it's somewhat partially, what is this term, partially verified. Yeah, it's partially verified, like it's in the 50s round. It's not really verified. So in this case, that's where I would actually do something similar with what is this, Skrappy. And it's kind of crazy that it can actually find this individual's website URL link. And I'm gonna click on load more leads as usual, and here is Matthew. Let's click that, save, and let's see whether or not it's gonna give us the same. Okay, so it doesn't really give us the same email address, right? As you can see, Matt at 7-figure creators. And if I head over to any, okay, let me go back to Bouncify, because that's where the email address is. So we have the entire full name, Matthew dot second name 7-figure creator. And if you actually go to just click on Matt, boom, still partially verified. As you can see, as domain X accept all, this domain cannot be verified deficiently, which means the email address that are actually based from this users or company's website URL link are partially verified. So if you were to send them an email address, an email pitching them on your service, then yeah, you have a 50-50 chance. And secondly, I'm going to be using another coaching consulting firm called Noticed, and I haven't really tried it on Skrapp. Let's see if it will actually be able to find this companies. Oh, okay, no, it's not it, because Noticed has a .co and they have a .co marketing services. Maybe that used to be their previous logo. Maybe it's gonna be based on okay, so yeah, the leads are actually verified because I actually know the founders, and one of them is Anymail, and this is his brother, I think. I'm not too sure, which is why it's a co-founder. It's his brother that I'm well aware of. And if I were to actually click on find email address, Niall, head over to notice.com, paste that in. Let's see if the email address is going to be valid, and boom, deliverability is up there. So we basically I forgot the terminology, but in a sense we revived ourselves in terms of, okay, this coaching consultancy firm, it wasn't there, but we've noticed the email verification. You can see that, okay, these emails are actually valid, right? And if I actually do the same thing with any email finder, you're gonna see that it's also going to scrape Neo as the CEO and co-founder of the company. I don't know why it never literally gives me his brother, but you're gonna get the gist of it all. Marketing, let me go with operational manager, and boom, it doesn't really give us anything, right? It just gave us the CEO. And the thing that I actually love about it is that it actually gave us this individual's LinkedIn URL link, right? And it's going to send us to the actual proper profile page, but I'm gonna exit this because it's going to make this entire video laggy, because yeah, my laptop is somewhat outdated, but hey, I'm not complaining. I'm able to actually record some of these videos, right? So that's where, like I said, these tools actually complement each other. We only found the CEO of the company, or shall I say co-founder, whilst we have the other founder, which we haven't really found his email address, right? And that is morg.r. I'm gonna do that, paste that in, and hopefully it's gonna give us the actual email address, and boom, we have it, right? And just to give you an understanding that at times both of these tools won't be able to basically give you leads. Like if you were to actually click search Noticed, it won't actually give you anything of these. So what you would typically, or what I would advise you to do, is go to company, paste that website URL link, and the first row of the emails you find are somewhat of the people up there: founders, co-founders, CEO, CMO, COO, right? Like the president, vice president, and yeah, I think the president, like those guys that are actually up there, those are the first email is going to list you. Like as you can see, Morg, which is the co-founder of Noticed, is the first. Then we have Niall, which is the CEO of the company, and we have Kate. What role does Kate play? Social media content creator. Kind of makes sense because these are the two key guys. Then from this point, it's like a down slope, not really the people you want to reach out to in terms of if you want to work with the people up there, but you kind of get the gist of how it actually works. And to basically end everything off, I'm gonna go with what is this, the private equity firm, right? And let me just head over to Scrappy, paste that in. Let me remove that .net domain, paste that in, and as you can see, we have 4 out of 4 results found. As you can see, you have the CEO, and basically that person's email address only, right? Now maybe this might be the example that I actually wanted to show you guys when I was like, okay, at times you just want to do this. So I'm gonna skip that entire process of finding the decision makers, and let's see if I go straight to company, what kind of emails it actually gonna generate for us, right? So we have Tom. Okay, so over here we have Tom's full name, then we have his nickname Tom. Like I said, it always starts with the key decision makers of the actual company. And we have who's second, Brandon, as you can see, investor advisor, but you're gonna get the gist of it. Also in this case, you're gonna go with Tom because yeah, he's the go-to guy. But yeah, that is the entire process of how I can actually find anyone's email address. The same concept applies within the e-commerce industry. I'm genuinely not gonna be using that as an example because like yeah, I kind of use e-commerce industry as an example in a lot of my videos, so I thought, hey, let me change things up for once. But yeah, if you're interested in trying out any of these free tools, I'll make sure to link them in the description down below. But until then, peace out.